Mike and Lucky here, hi. Welcome to our another YouTube video. In today's video, we will try to find the answer on one of the most important questions: how to find your purpose. Let us actually start this video with another question for you. Do you already know your purpose? Probably some of you guys will answer this question easily, but I assume that most people can't really give one true answer for that. Or maybe, in reality, your answer is yes, but you only think that you know it. And we are here talking about the real purpose, the greatest one and the most important one, which God gave to all of us. The truth is, the number of people who get to know their actual purpose in their lifetime is very few. In this modern society, we will not find too many people working on this topic, because searching for answers to questions like these often leads to one universal fact, which is man is mortal. One day, every one of us will physically disappear from this planet, but people often don't want to think about it, because they believe that if you think about it, you can lead your mind in a very depressive state, full of fear. And I admit it is not very far from true. But here is a fact: the more closer a person is to death, the less it fears from it. Let me say that again. The more closer a person is to death, the less it fears from it. This goes not only for elders, but also for any age that experience close death. There might be fear of death, but last few moments, person doesn't feel that fear. So, with that being said, we come to another fact, which is there is no point in fearing of death, but we also shouldn't just forget about the existence of death, because right there we will find our answers. And now you are probably asking, man, how can that help me to find my purpose? But just stay with me to the end, and you will get it. Truth is, we live in a society where the people would rather escape from harsh truth than face it. Just think about it. Most men would rather get drunk than admit to themselves that they are going through a breakup. Most people would rather visit a doll site than admit to themselves that they don't have a partner and that they are lonely. Most people won't even think about trying to quit their drug addiction because they are too scared about what awaits them in the real world. But the truth is, only if you decide to face the truth, to look her in her eyes, only then you will be able to do something about it. By researching death, you could be able to recognize the importance but also the beauty of life that God gave you. By facing the fact of your mortality, you will be able to see how important is that gift of life and how much needed it is for you to give 100% in everything you do. There are so many people who die young, so many sick ones, so many people with handicap, people who don't have the roof above their heads, people who are always hungry and thirsty, people who don't have the ability to see, hear, or speak. Do you think that they are very often asking themselves, what is their life purpose? Well, at first, they probably had questions like, why am I even born when I am like this? But hard time living made them understand that they really do have the purpose. So, your answer lies deep inside you, in fact, in far depths of your soul, and you are the only one who can find it for yourself. Take a very deep look into your heart and think. What bothers you the most? Or what makes you happy the most? What is it that is worth living for? Or what is it that you could have your influence on? In order for you to find your answers better, think of it like this. Let's say you have your three main purposes. Number one is the one which you can have your influence on. Number two is the one which you cannot have your influence on. And number three is biological reproduction. Okay, let's make a little diagram here. Number one is the purpose which you can have your influence on. This is the one you can influence directly or indirectly. People often call this one goals, and you can actually have more than one. For example, getting good at some disciplines, maintaining financial stability for your family, etc. Number two is purpose which you cannot have your influence on. This is the higher one, given from God, which probably you will not get to know for your life. In the middle of diagram is number three, biological reproduction. It is the purpose placed in the middle, not because it is most important, but because it is duty of human population in general. But it is also the one which is up for you to decide whether you will engage in it or not. The truth is, purpose number one and purpose number two permeate. They cannot exist without one another. They coexist. If there is no higher purpose, which is given from God and which I cannot have my influence on, would it make sense for me to have the one I can have my influence on? On the other hand, if I don't have my personal purpose and my goals, which I can have my influence on, I can freely say that higher purpose doesn't even exist. The truth is, if you are feeling pain, sadness, affection against something or someone, also if you feel joy and if you have the emotions, if you have the ability of free thinking, you really do have your personal and higher purpose. You have everything in order to fulfill them. Everything else are just extra tools to help you achieve it. So, it is up to you to answer what is your personal purpose and goal. And we hope we helped you with that at least a little bit. Thank you for staying with us to the end. We hope we helped you at least a little bit. If you are interested in our work, don't forget to subscribe, because there is more stuff coming. And also feel free to comment down below. We are open for seeing your opinions and experiences.